Good morning and welcome back to the program. I'm joined now by a man right here with true wisdom of the game of football. Coach Quinn Gray, a former professional athlete who now coaches right here in Georgia. He played for Florida A&M, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Kansas City Chiefs, coaching for 6 years, but this is his first year right here in the state of Georgia. High school coach Gray from Whitfield Academy, correct?
Yes, sir.
Hey,
yes, sir.
Thanks for being on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
So you have a lot of experience. You know what it's like to work with student athletes at a very young age. They have big aspirations and dreams of doing what you did.
Absolutely.
So let's just get started and maybe tell me, what you would suggest these students do that want to be at the next level, go on and play for maybe a Division I college, or even go and play professionally one day. What do you suggest?
I think Elmore hit it right on the head. It starts with your academics, and that's the most important part to this thing. What our student athletes have to realize is colleges are looking for students that have their heads on straight and academically sound in the classroom. What they also need to understand is the importance of the ACT and the SAT test. A lot of kids are turned away by colleges because of their academics and their ACT and SAT scores. So they need to start concentrating at a young age. I would say starting 10th grade, sophomore year, taking those standardized tests to try to get a good feel on it, because some are better at one test than the other. Some are better at the SAT than the ACT, and some are better at the ACT. So it's important for them to get a good gauge on which test better suits their academic prowess and concentrate on that one.
Yeah, so obviously very important for the parents to be very involved in the academics as well and support the athletics and,
Absolutely.
Work with them in the classroom, because they're going to have a lot of these kids. I mean, they have great talent
Indeed.
on the field.
Indeed.
And it's so important, like you said, with the academics to get where you're going. As these kids work nowadays to achieve their dreams like you did, they put in some real hours.
They do. They do.
Coach Quinn. And so how much is, too much, in your opinion?
What we have to understand is the kids these days are a little bit different than we were when we were growing up. There's a lot more heat-related issues that they have to deal with. There's a lot more health-related issues that they have to deal with, because there's always concussions that you deal with now. And I think with that, the parents have to understand their children and make sure they know what's too much for their child. A lot of times these kids go out there and they think they're Superman and don't have to rest and don't have to get the proper nutrition and things like that, which is vitally important for them. And I think it's just a matter of having a strong hold and knowing your kids. And once you have that and you know what your kids can give you and what they can't give you, then you have a better understanding of what it is and what it takes for them at each individual kid.
I'm taking a look at the football field. I see that large W right in the middle there.
Oh yeah, that's
50-yard
us.
line.
Absolutely.
Looking good, man.
Yeah, that's us.
You guys doing fairly well with the program as well?
Absolutely. Our kids have bought into, well, I don't like to say buy into, I like to say commit, because when you buy something, you get a receipt and you can always return it. You know what I mean? So with that, they've committed to the vision that I have for this program, being that I just got here in April. Our kids have worked hard all summer, and we just returned from the FCA camp up in Riverside.
Great.
Did some good things, and I'm very proud of them and looking forward to it.
So weight training versus conditioning for these student athletes, is it about 50-50 as they prepare?
Yeah, for the most part. You want your kids to be as strong as they can be once the season starts, and be as fast and in shape as they can be once the season starts, because once the season starts, you're not able to lift as much, and you don't want to run them as much because you're preparing for a game on Friday. Obviously, you can set your program up in the summer to make sure that they're at their strongest. You want your kids to peak at the right time, and you want to set your program up in such a way that happens. And our kids, they've done a tremendous job of coming in, committing to the program, committing to what we do during the summer, and I'm hoping that this thing will pay off for us this season.
So I got a two-part question here. Are parents pushing their children too much in athletics these days? And what do coaches like you need from those parents?
Well, I'll answer the second part first.
Okay.
What we need from parents is for the parents just to support their child, support the coaches that you've entrusted your child with. A lot of times you get parents that think their child is a lot better than what they really are. And sometimes they can become overbearing because they feel their child isn't getting the due process, their necessary due. But with that, a lot of parents sometimes live through their children because they weren't maybe as good of an athlete as their child is.
Yeah,
and they try to push their children so much that the child actually becomes uninterested in the sport that they're playing. So you have to gauge that thing and be able to understand that these children these days, they're a lot different than we were. We could be pushed a whole lot more back in the day than these children. And then the second question that you asked, we just need them to support us as coaches, giving their time, not necessarily financially, but giving their time and their efforts to get their kids on time and have them where they're supposed to be. And supporting what we do as a program is vital to any program, any successful program anyway. Parents are a vital part of it because without them, our program wouldn't be able to sustain. And with that, we got some good parents at Whitfield.
Yeah, and one thing I see is that you have such an important role in development of these student athletes as they move on at a very young age, and they move on to the collegiate level and then potentially professionally. So how does an organization like Student Athletes assist these students, in your opinion, to pursue their dreams?
Well, the studentathletes.com is actually a tremendous site to help student athletes to get them the notice that they want. Myself coming from the collegiate coaching ranks the last 4 years, Student Athletes is a website that we would utilize when there's kids that, because you got your 5-stars, your 4-star kids, and those are the kids that doesn't necessarily need those type of sites. And those kids only come every once in a while. So it's the majority that need the sites like studentathletes.com. And I think the students that want to get noticed and they have the grades and they just haven't necessarily got the looks that they want from colleges and things like that, they need to utilize these sites because they're important. Colleges use them. And they definitely are a great tool to get you out, get you noticed by colleges and get you out there to help you maybe earn a scholarship or something like that from a school that you never really thought would take interest in you. But these things are very important for us because coaches can do everything that they can, but they can't do it all. And it's these websites like studentathletes.com that help us and help students, which allow parents to help their kid as well. So studentathletes.com I think is an important website for parents to know about and help their student athletes get what they want.
Coach Quinn Gray, thank you so much, Whitfield Academy. Best of luck this upcoming season. Great information. Yeah, and student-athletes.com if you want to check that out. Much more coming up this half hour. We have talked about it, and now we're going to do it. A fitness demo and some exercises that we can all use. Stay with us. Public Affairs on Peach right after this break.